Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla. So there is a lot of things happening in the world of full self-driving cars and the competition. So let me break it down for you so you can see what the difference is compared to Tesla. Because even though it looks very similar, there are huge differences not just in the technology but in the business model as well. But we have someone like Wayve coming out and showing some very nice new progress. But why is their business model still so very different from Tesla's? Well, let me show you why, and let's dive right in. So Morgan Stanley analyst Adam Jones said that he was left speechless after he spent an hour this week being driven in a robotaxi in London. Adam rode in a development vehicle from Wayve that used 7 cameras, no radar, no LIDAR, no HD mapping and no labeling. It was all end-to-end AI-enabled foundation model. He said it drove with confidence and like an experienced London cab driver. Recent video from Wayve of a 75 minutes uninterrupted autonomous drive in central London. Very impressive, right? But as Brian Wang also wrote, actually only dozens of cars, 450 employees. Wayve is still in the R&D phase, partnering with companies like Microsoft, Nvidia and SoftBank to refine its tech. They are not massive deployed yet, but are working with UK grocery chain like Asda and Ocado to collect data from delivery vehicles, and they're expanding testing to California. Their adoption is limited to test fleets. About 450 staff across London and Sunnyvale manage a small number of vehicles. Exact fleet size isn't public, but it's likely dozens, not hundreds. Their driver data comes from thousands of hours of real-world testing and extensive simulation. Wayve's focus on generalizing means they don't need as much local specific data as map-based competitors like Waymo, but their total data volume is likely smaller than industry giants. And their business model is, of course, to licensing their software to OEMs. So what this does more than anything else is that it confirms that LIDAR is not needed. As Elon said, LIDAR is a fool's errand. Because just like we talked about last week, Jim Farley said that Ford's more affordable model will never have level 3 autonomy. Level 3, not autonomous driving, but level 3 because it's too expensive to put in an affordable car with the expensive LIDAR system, as Jim Farley himself put it. But when Tesla has an affordable car with full self-driving, Ford's affordable cars will be completely obsolete. So even though Ford may have solved making an affordable EV that they can earn money on and think, great, now we can compete with Tesla and the Chinese, Tesla will once again be sitting the price and the benchmark with a full self-driving car that are affordable. Again, forcing Ford to lower the price of their affordable EVs, because if they cost the same as Tesla's affordable cars, but that one can drive itself, and with the Ford you have to drive 100% of the time, well, Ford's cars has to be many tenths of thousands of dollars cheaper than Tesla's, right? But when we get down to the affordable ones for about $25,000 to $35,000, there is not really that much room to play with. So just as Ford think they have solved making an affordable EV for $25,000 they can actually earn money on, Tesla might just once again force them to lower the price so they can't even be profitable on that one as well. Because Tesla can lower the price even more, because all of the owners of the affordable Tesla will probably also buy the $100 monthly subscription for full self-driving. So Tesla will hardly need to earn any money selling this car. It's just getting the car on the street so we can start earning Tesla money. That is the main goal. Also, like the old dealership and OEM business model, where they don't really have to earn money on selling the cars because they will make money on service and repairs and loans. But here, Tesla will just earn money on software. But this might be where someone like Wayve comes into the picture. Because what they are working on is, of course, to license their software to OEMs like Ford. And they have just shown that they are already getting somewhere, right? But this is still years out in the future. Wayve are still in the R&D phase, so they still don't have anything to give to the OEM like Ford. And when they have, Ford will probably have to design a whole new car with Wayve's hardware and camera setup. So we are likely at least 3 years out from having consumer cars driving around with Wayve software inside of them. And that is probably the best case scenario. Like Jim Farley said himself, that Ford has a 4-year development cycle. So for Gary Black to think that Wayve will just have their R&D project in consumer cars basically at the same time as Tesla has solved it, which might be in only a few months, it's really not being realistic. But there is also much more to it than just having the software. Tesla's biggest moat here is their business model, because Waymo has kind of shown us that making money on a robotaxi is not as easy as it may sound. We don't know exactly Waymo's financials, as it's under Google's Alphabet under the category Other Bets, but from Alphabet's Q4 2024 earnings released in February the 4th, 2025, Other Bets brought in $400 million in revenue, but that was actually down almost 40% from the $657 million in Q4 of 2023, with an operating loss of $1.12 billion. So they do have a bit of revenue, but they lose a ton of money on everything within that Alphabet Other Bets. So we don't have much to go on, but there are of course a lot of speculation about the earnings, as we know what the rides roughly cost and how many miles Waymo is driving every month, as Waymo has just announced that they do 200,000 paid rides per week now. So that's very nice, with their fleet of only 800 operational robotaxis. So that is about 250 rides per week per car. So that's very impressive. And we know that the average ride costs around $10 to $15 per ride, which also aligns up with Bank of America's estimates of Waymo's earnings. So if we go with $12.50 per ride, so in the middle, that is $2.5 million per week. And with 52 weeks, that is about $130 million a year. And that is revenue, not profits. So even though it sounds impressive with 200,000 rides per week, because Waymo has no other revenue stream than dollar per ride, it's not really moving the needle much. When we also have to calculate in the cost of running the fleet, like charging and cleaning and remote oversight and being able to take over, and according to LinkedIn's current estimate here of January 2025, suggests that Waymo has around 2,900 employees globally. So Waymo's cost of just paying their around 3,000 employees that might get paid $75,000 on average, I don't know, but some of the software engineers will definitely get paid a lot more, but they might also have some people just helping with the maintenance of the car or remote operating the car or something. But let's just say $75,000 per employee. That is around $225 million. That is more than Waymo's revenue on its own. And people also have to remember that Waymo has to geofence every area they go to. That is not free either, and probably costs something like $10 per mile of road. And that might not sound like much, but that is only the upfront cost with a geofenced area, as road changes, construction, and new signals and potholes, etc. So annual maintenance might be something like 5 to 20% of initial mapping cost. So Waymo will always have some cost allocated to the maintenance of the geofenced area and an upfront cost. So this is also why I'm saying all the time that Waymo is just not scalable, and it can't really map the whole country in the US, as there are so many variables like dirt roads, hurricane destroying roads, wildfire, snow-covered roads, and so much more. But if Waymo should map all of the US roads, it will probably cost something like $10 to $30 billion up front, and then $5 to $10 billion annually. So Waymo is of course not going to do that. They will stick with their small geofenced areas in the big city, and therefore always just be an inside city experience. Whereas the Cybercab will be able to take you everywhere you like, and can ride on snow-covered roads and dirt roads and all that good stuff, even places it has never seen before. And Waymo will never be able to do that. So as you can see, Waymo is nowhere near getting to profitability on their current business model, even though they're doing pretty well. And because their robotaxis are so expensive for them to produce, just getting to like 1 million robotaxi deployed is going to cost Waymo something like $120 billion. And that is just getting the cars. And all of the cost Waymo sees, they can only earn back 1 mile at a time, where they earn about $2 a mile. So you can see it is going to be very hard for someone like Waymo to ever become profitable with their current business model. So it's not like there is not going to be any competition on the market. It's just that the competition has a completely different business model. So to explain this, I put up here Tesla's, Waymo's, and Wayve's business model, right? Very simplified, of course, but the problem for Waymo and Wayve is they only have one income stream. And they are both dependent on third parties, as Waymo and Wayve are not car companies. So Waymo has to buy their cars from someone, unlike Tesla, and Wayve only have a software package, so they need some automakers as customers. So Waymo only has one way to earn money, and that is through dollar per mile as a robotaxi fleet operator. Wayve only has one way of earning money, and that is to license their software to OEMs. But Tesla, on the other hand, has both those options, but also a lot of other income streams from their robotaxi side of the business alone. So Tesla will earn money dollar per mile just like Waymo, and they will also earn money by licensing to other OEMs just like Wayve, but the big difference here between Wayve and Tesla is going to be the timing. Because if OEMs start to see Tesla having full self-driving cars driving themselves on the street this year, are they really going to wait for Wayve to have something ready and then start designing the new cars with that software and camera setup? Or do they want a head start compared to all the other OEMs that will wait for Wayve? Because the longer they wait, the bigger the pain is going to be, as the demand for their cars will drop out of the sky when we will have cars that can drive themselves versus cars that can't drive themselves for basically the same price. So we will see what will happen, but there are probably many that want to get it as fast as possible to not risk going bankrupt. But Tesla has also told us they will be selling the Cybercab to customers. So Tesla will, of course, also earn money on that. Probably earn $10,000 to $15,000 per robotaxi they put on the street that way, compared to Waymo, that will always be losing $120,000 every time they put a robotaxi on the street. But Tesla also already have millions of cars on the road that will probably want to either buy the software outright or just subscribe to the full self-driving software. So that is Tesla earning money on selling or subscribing to their software. And Tesla don't even have to sell a car to do this. They already have millions of cars on the road ready, just waiting to get this software update, unlocking this feature. And those people can, of course, earn money themselves by putting their car on the robotaxi network, like an Airbnb thing, as Elon Musk has explained before, where Tesla, of course, will also earn money as well. So Tesla has 5 income streams just for the robotaxi business, and of course earn money on so many other things. But here the competition just have one income stream. So sure, there might be a lot of competition, just like there is a lot of competition in the EV market. But Tesla today still sits on something like 80 to 90% of the profits in the EV market. Or like Apple, that only have 20% of the smartphone market, but they actually sit on 80% of the profits. And I think Tesla will do the same in the robotaxi game. The others will have a very hard time competing with Tesla, as Tesla has multiple income streams helping them to scale up their fleet of full self-driving cars much faster than anyone will be able to do. And also because Tesla already have car manufactured at scale. And even though Tesla has 5 times as many income streams, Tesla's cost of producing the Cybercab is also something like 6 to 8 times cheaper than someone like Waymo. Tesla already has the whole charging infrastructure built out. So as Lars from Tesla said, they will just put in some wireless chargers in a handful of their already existing supercharging locations, and they are off to the races. And of course, also implement their self-cleaning robot at those stations as well. And Tesla has the Megapacks and Autobeta software to make the cost of running the supercharger stations even more affordable, and therefore also making the cost of running the Cybercab so much cheaper than Waymo and anyone else will be able to do, as the Cybercab is super efficient, first of all, compared to Waymo's EV, and the electricity that goes into them is cheaper for Tesla than for Waymo or anyone else, as Tesla is the energy provider themselves. So it's not just that Tesla has 5 times the income streams, but the cost of getting this up and running is an order of magnitude cheaper for Tesla than for the competition. So just like in the EV industry, I think Tesla will sit with the lion's share of the profit generated in the whole robotaxi game, as they will once again be the one setting the price, as no one else on the planet is doing all of this on their own with every little detail and technology made in-house. So that is why I keep saying there really isn't any true competitor to Tesla's robotaxi business, just like there still, even today, is not any true competitors to Tesla EV business, as you are only a true competitor if you earn the same kind of money as Tesla does selling your cars. Like Ford losing $40,000 on every EV they sell does not make their Ford Mark E a true competitor to Tesla's Model Y. When Ford can sell a compact SUV for the same price as Tesla and earn the same kind of profits as Tesla, then they will become a true competitor. And when Tesla then comes out with an affordable EV that can drive themselves, Tesla will just move the goalpost once again. So then the old OEMs wouldn't be competitors anyway. Not easy fighting against this very fast moving target. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.